What's up, guys? It's Nathaniel Harris from Scoop and Score, the channel bringing you videos on the past and present sports news and events. I'm back with another video for the culture. We're going to talk about NFL team needs today. There are 32 NFL teams, and even the ones that made the Super Bowl are going to need to make some off-season changes. Due to time restraints, I will only talk about a select few teams, and if I want to talk about more, I will. Also, I am filming this during the first phase of the offseason, so if I fail to mention an offseason change, it's because I haven't gotten word of it yet. With that being said, let's get right into it. Up until this season, the Ravens have been the leaders in the AFC North for a couple of years. In my honest opinion, the window for Super Bowl chances is closing. Yes, they are still a team to be feared, but releasing Mark Ingram and only signing Sammy Watkins makes things worse. I feel like the Ravens need a true wide receiver one, or at least to draft another one that complements Hollywood Brown. The Ravens also need another offensive lineman, preferably a center or guard that can help protect Jackson better. They already run the ball well, so you don't necessarily need a tackle, but a guard or a center would help protect Lamar because he doesn't need to be running around the pocket like that. In the AFC South, we have the Houston Texans. With all the drama brewing in Houston from Deshaun Watson, it is hard to try and think about offseason needs for this team. Even before the allegations started, Watson has threatened to never suit up for the Texans again. That leaves a hole at quarterback for this team. They have tried to fill that hole with Tyrod Taylor, but even if he plays, the Texans don't have any wide receiver presence. Half of the reason that Deshaun Watson is not thriving here is because he has no weapons around him. So, the biggest offensive need here is wide receiver. And then you have to try to fill the hole that J.J. Watt made by leaving to join the Cardinals. Ultimately, they need a wide receiver first, and they also need to fix the defensive line. The Patriots dominated the first phase of their offseason, handing out the most guaranteed money within the first couple of days. Even with all the additions, they still have lots of room to improve. In my opinion, the Patriots need to add on defense. Most teams now run a lot of nickel and dime defenses, which means you need a good 4, 5, or 6 above average defensive backs. With that being said, a corner would be a great addition to this defense. Gilmore paired with a coverage corner could be deadly. Also, a coverage-minded and mobile linebacker would also help out on defense. That way you can spread the field, have as many DBs as you need, and shut down offenses. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming off a devastating loss to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. That game showed a lack of game planning and a lack of readiness. For off-season needs, I say that the Chiefs should go right back to the drawing board. The Chiefs had an all-around team, and if it wasn't for injuries, they would have fared way better in the Super Bowl. But as the off-season progresses, they should too. They have recently lost 2 star offensive linemen to cap hits and lost one of their wide receivers to the Ravens, Sammy Watkins. Because of this, my off-season move for the Chiefs is to retain as many people as possible while adding more to the offensive line. After this, they should work on game planning to get ready to have a comeback season and win another chip. When it comes to team needs, depth is always a factor. It's cool to have one great player per position, but what if that player gets hurt? This is why depth is the way to go. The Vikings have a veteran wideout in Adam Thielen and a rising star in Justin Jefferson. Adding a third receiver for the slot would solidify the wide receiver core and make them a true threat. Another offseason need for the Vikings is safety. Anthony Harris left for the Eagles, and now the team has a big hole to fill. There are a couple hyped up safeties coming out the draft this year, so the Vikings could draft one or try to find a veteran in free agency. The New Orleans Saints are a hot team for discussion in the NFC South because their window may have just closed. With the legend Drew Brees retiring, many wonder if they should start to rebuild or just find a new quarterback. My opinion is to find a new quarterback and keep it pushing. Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill can both be replacements. They wouldn't be as good, but both are viable. The next hole to fill would be the defense. Defense wins championships, and defense is where the Saints struggle. The Saints are notorious for blown coverages, so a solid corner is almost a must-have. As for the defensive line, the Saints should try to revamp the whole line. A strong defensive tackle and a speedy defensive end would fare well for the Saints. In the NFC East, we have the reigning division champs, the Washington football team. This team was the best of the worst in 2020. The NFC East is also going through a rare occurrence right now where all four teams are rebuilding at the same time. So, of course, I have tons that I can say about this team's needs for the offseason. They have already picked up a much-needed wide receiver in Curtis Samuel and a much-needed DB in William Jackson III. They also have picked up quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, but this is just a temporary fix. So, my needs for the football team this offseason are a young and ready quarterback or a new offensive line. As far as the offensive line goes, the football team is already expecting some of their guards to not come back. So, try to at least re-sign them or go find another one, veteran or young. After this season, the Seahawks have completely blown past their window for a Super Bowl. The window actually closed a couple seasons ago, but the team was still intact enough to not have to rebuild. I feel like this offseason is the perfect time to start rebuilding. Your star quarterback, Russell Wilson, has stated that he wants to play for your team, so your best option is to rebuild around him. DK Metcalf is your star wide receiver, so adding another wideout to complement him would be great. Another addition for the offense could be a guard. Wilson is easily one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the league, so a guard would help for sure. Getting Wilson the protection he needs, along with the weapons he desires, could create a lethal offense just like the one from the early 2010s. The NFL offseason is where teams get to evaluate their needs and decide what to do with that information. As onlookers and fans, we always have moves that we would love to see the teams make, but the teams don't always make those moves. Sometimes it is saddening to see your favorite team shy away from picking up your favorite college prospect, but at the end of the day, as fans, all we can do is suggest. So, with that being said, this list is about the moves that I personally would like to see teams make. Hopefully, some of these moves actually get made. My name is Nathaniel Harris for Scoop and Score, signing off.